What's cracking, guys? And today I'm going to be discussing some changes that are happening on Twitter, plus some other things on YouTube. You know, I gotta do it. Now, as someone who has supported all kinds of off-brand content, has made memes about off-brand content, how much love I have of the community, you guys know that I will always support it, and that's why I kind of have to make this video to warn some of the people about what's going to be happening on Twitter. Twitter has updated its policy, and starting January 1st, 2020, they are going to be targeting and banning people who make adult content. It's part of their sensitive media policy. Now, to be fair, Twitter has actually dealt with this kind of stuff before, just not so openly, I guess. They have shadow banned people, basically saying like, while they're not banned, you will never be able to search for these people unless you specifically search for them, nor will their tweets pop up or anything like that. You have to literally look for these people. And yes, in the past, they have actually taken a little action against me and marked almost all my stuff for as sensitive content when I accidentally, well, not accidentally, I did post like a little bit of like a nude body pillow right next to me that just showed some anime tatas. I had to delete it and I did everything and everything's fine now. But yeah, they do take action. However, it seems that they're going to be very much more open about this. Now they did a whole thing about marking graphic violence as sensitive material, so people can make an informed decision. That's not what I'm going to be focusing on. Obviously, I kind of agree with that. They should mark that kind of stuff as sensitive. I don't want to see that stuff. But the thing, obviously, I'm going to be focusing on is the adult content, which I know a lot of you guys like going to Twitter for. Considering that Twitter is one of the final last bastions of not safe for work content, because we know that Facebook doesn't allow it, Patreon doesn't like it, Instagram doesn't like it, like virtually all other social media platforms do not like it, except for Twitter. And now it's kind of changing, unfortunately. So people that make lewd art are going to find it extremely difficult to share their content now and get more people interested in what they do. The following rules of adult content that must be marked sensitive is: adult content is any consensually produced and distributed media that is pornographic or intended to cause sexual arousal. Some examples include, but are not limited to, depictions of partial or full nudity, including close-ups of genitals, buttocks, or breasts, excluding content related to breastfeeding, simulated sexual acts, and sexual intercourse or other sexual acts. This also applies to cartoons, off-brand, or anime involving humans and depictions of animals with human-like features. Basically, but they just called out not only the anime industry of off-brand stuff, but even the freaking furries, man. Nobody is safe. But of course, maybe if you do all this while they're breastfeeding, because they said they'll exclude breastfeeding, then it's allowed. So you're gonna start seeing a lot of not safe for work breastfeeding content shared around on Twitter. They also went on to say the violent kind of off-brand stuff is a big no-no. And I'm not going to be discussing that. Like, honestly, I don't want to see that stuff on my timeline. But, you know, just innocent lewds, that's more what I'm going to be talking about. Does this mean that you're going to not see any lewds on Twitter anymore? And that's no. Granted, as long as you mark it as sensitive content. And unfortunately, you can't just do it for every individual tweet and past tweets that you've made, because there's no option to do so. So that's kind of stupid, you know, like, why can't I mark this as sensitive content now? Like, if you're gonna start enforcing this, like, yeah, at least let people change it as sensitive media. The only way to do it is to navigate to your safety settings, so any picture or other things that you post is immediately marked as, you know, sensitive material. So it's gonna be like, you either have everything as sensitive material or nothing as sensitive material. It's not quite intuitive. Granted, you can turn this off and on at will, so you have to navigate to the settings to turn it on for the one post and then turn it off for the next. That just seems stupid. And the fact that you can't change past tweets that may violate these new guidelines, are these people going to be protected from that, or are they just going to be persecuted and destroyed? I don't know. Also, they do warn that if an account is dedicated to posting this kind of content, you will be immediately suspended. So yeah, you can obviously tell this is directed at the lewd artists, lewd workers, all that kind of stuff. It's not going to be easy. Basically, if you do this kind of stuff, you may need to rethink where you post this type of content, even though there's not a lot of other places to post it, considering you will get banned at other places too, but at least you can mark it as sensitive. All in all, it's not a good thing for the industry, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to be very saddened by this news. Heck, it's kind of the reason why I think Bunny and Susu have moved on to like Twitch, where they're just able to do other types of content so they're not screwed over if things like this happen. The other thing that I wish to talk about is apparently iDubbbz has had a video removed by YouTube, which is now like in their new bullying policy, other things online, what they don't allow on YouTube. And it fell into their new guidelines, and they said, yo, we're gonna take down this video, it's no longer allowed on YouTube. Now, if you've never heard of iDubbbz or Leafy is Here, you haven't been around YouTube that long, understandable. It's basically was iDubbbz bullying the actual bully, Leafy is Here, who made fun of other content creators on YouTube, and he was basically calling him out on what he did. That was all the rage, I think, in like, what was it, 2017? Maybe before that? It was a big drama issue on YouTube, and Leafy, I think, also made YouTube change their guidelines towards actually bullying other people on YouTube as well. So that was a big old mess. Probably the reason why Leafy just stopped uploading in general. So now, if you're a YouTuber and you talk about other YouTubers, you really have to watch what you say, otherwise you can find yourself getting a strike or destroyed or other things like that. You gotta be really careful now, you know, you gotta be very, I guess, politically correct. Obviously, I think the decision is ludicrous. The video was posted so long ago, and I don't think people and content creators should be punished for new updates on policies that they just created when it was fine previously. But I'm not the head honcho at YouTube, obviously. I obviously wouldn't have banned myself 2 times, so I don't really have much say in all this. Another thing that's been going around lately that I kind of want to bring up, if you are making any sort of content related to Shonen Jump stuff, or specifically Demon Slayer stuff from what I've been seeing, there's been 3 YouTubers that have been affected by copyright strikes, and 2 of which have had their channels on the verge of being terminated. Now those 3 channels, 2 of which have talked to me about it, and I will respect their decision of not revealing who they are, and other things like that. They'll handle it on their own, respectable. But just as a warning to other YouTubers out there, like, watch out for Demon Slayer content. There's people out there that are putting up false copyright strikes, and it's just ludicrous. It's an annoyance to say the least. If you don't know what copyright strikes do, if you get 3 of them, your channel will be permanently deleted if they're not fought off through legal means. Now, the person putting out these false copyright strikes may be in for a huge lawsuit, so like, I don't recommend people doing this because it could cost you your entire life. So I don't know why people would decide to do that, but yeah, they're gonna get in serious trouble from probably these 3 people. Because if you put up copyright strikes for stuff you don't actually own, you open the gateway to be countersued, and it's not gonna be pretty. But yeah, the whole situation's kind of messed up for these 3 people, and my heart goes out to them. And I hope the situation gets better for all 3 of them in the future. Anyway, that's it for my news for now. Again, the Twitter thing is the main issue, and it was kind of the last bastion for lewd content, so I don't know what else people are gonna go to now. It stinks. If you have suggestions of what people can do or what's going to happen, or if you don't think it's that big of a deal, you could just still mark things as sensitive content, like, then, you know, leave it in the comment section below. I love to hear your thoughts and opinions about all this. And if you enjoyed this news video, definitely leave a like. Subscribe for some more quality content, and I will see you, beautiful sons of guns, again next time.
You crazy mother.